What's up, everybody? It's been a while since I've uploaded a video to my channel. As a matter of fact, I had a trip planned 7 months ago. I was going to ride my bike from Florida, where I live, to Texas and then to New Mexico. And I made it to Meridian, Mississippi, and I got a phone call from my son. They were pregnant with our first grandchild, and they were going to induce her. So I turned around from Meridian, Mississippi and made it back home, and I've been experiencing a different kind of adventure over the last 7 months, learning what it means to be a puppy. So that's been great. So I planned the trip again, but I didn't have the time that I had initially to drive all the way there and all the way back. And so I decided to fly into Austin, rent a motorcycle, and do an 8-day solo trip, and then fly back. So that's what I'm gonna show you, but this is gonna be a little bit of a different video because unlike any other trip that I've ever had, I experienced more challenges on this trip than ever before. 3:37. Woo, feels good to be on the bike again. It's been a long time, 6 months. Had a grandbaby. So, been a little preoccupied with that little bundle of joy. Well, that was a quick turn off with no blinkers. Thank you, thank you. All right, let's do this. I say it in every video, but I am thankful to the Lord for this opportunity. Somebody didn't make it there. Ouch. What kind of views we have here? Oh man. Fantastic. Fantastic. Wow. Oh my, look at that. Oh, wow. How sturdy are you? Texas Twisties. Beautiful. This is why I do it. So I wake up on Monday morning, got all my bags packed, everything, and so I'm flying from Florida to Houston, Houston to Austin, and as soon as I land in Austin, I've got to go to this guy's house and pick up the bike. So I made this smart decision that I was going to wear my riding jeans so that I didn't have to worry about changing or anything. I thought nothing of it. So I get to the airport, making my way through TSA. Everything's going great till I go through the little, little dealio there that takes a picture of you. And I never thought that my knee pads would be a problem, but they showed up. I had to go back through it again, come back out, and try to explain to the guy, it's knee pads. I've got my helmet, my jacket, the whole nine. But so I ended up having to go to this back room and get strip searched. Two TSA guys there. One of them was a biker, so he understood the whole thing. But take my pants off, take the knee pads out. It was more embarrassing than anything else. But yeah, I thought I was being smart. So I don't know if you ever do some traveling, don't have on gear that's got pads in it because you just might get flagged. But that's how the trip started. So the flight was fine. Flew into Houston, Houston to Austin, make it to Austin, get out the airport, go on my phone to my Uber app, and yeah, I still to this moment have no idea what went wrong. Pretty sure it was operator error, but somehow my destination and my location was switched, and so the guy's driving me back around to a different location at the airport, and when I notice it and try to say something to him, I then realize that he can't speak English and I can't speak Spanish. And so I'm trying to communicate to this guy that I'm not going to the airport. Thankfully, I had an itinerary here with the address of the guy whose house I had to go to get the motorcycle. And I'm pointing to this, and it was a little ordeal finally trying to figure it out. He was a trooper about it. Nobody got frustrated or anything, but it was very humorous. At the moment, it was frustrating because this communication barrier, but got it figured out and made it to the guy's house and got the bike and got everything loaded and hit the road. Then my GoPro mount came off of my helmet, and I brought an extra one, but they recommend that you let it sit overnight. So the first day I didn't get any footage. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, one of my containers with liquid, I guess in the flight, it came open and just leaked all over all of my stuff. So I had to rinse that all off. And then last night I started feeling bad, getting blisters in the back of my throat and my tongue. My tongue's white, the back of my throat is white, so I'm pretty sure
started coming down with strep throat. Thankfully, my grandson and son were sick before I went on this trip, and I had a scheduled routine annual physical with my doctor, and I just mentioned that to him, and he graciously prescribed an antibiotic just in case. So yeah, I started taking my Z-Pak last night, and hopefully if it is strep throat, it'll knock it out. If it's viral, obviously it's not going to do anything, but so I'm not feeling the greatest.
Thankfully, as soon as I started having symptoms, I was able to start taking that medication, and actually woke up the next day feeling better. So I thought, hey, we're golden. You know, I'm just gonna feel a little bad, but you know, the journey continues.
Made it to Del Rio. Whew. That was a nice ride, but man, oh man, feeling rough. Amazing. Woohoo! That's what I'm talking about. That little buddy right there. Oh, 6 more days and I get to see him. Oh man. Whew. Roadrunner. Look at that. Look at that. Nobody ever looks at anything like this and thinks, wow, ain't I great? Oh my. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the earth is filled with His handiwork. Following the river. I'm praying the Lord to help me through. Whew. It is warm, it is warm.
Well, at the end of the 4th day, I was hot. Man, I underestimated the desert. I live in Florida, it's very humid, even right now, you know, sweating. That's kind of my typical indication, hey, you're getting hot. Well, it's different there, duh. But I didn't pay attention or realize it, and was super hot when I finally made it to, I don't know if it's Terlingua, but I made it there to the room, and unfortunately, the whole town was out of power. So I was out in the heat all day long, thinking that I was gonna show up at the room and be able to cool off and everything's gonna be great. I get to the room, there's no power. So I'm still baking. But the power finally came on, cranked down the AC, you know, tried to drink plenty of water and fluids. But I woke up Friday morning and physically I had hit a wall. And my heart rate was erratic. It was going up and going down and going up and going down. I felt like trash, felt terrible. And so, you know, I prayed about it, and I thought I needed to listen to my body. So I decided at that point that I was going to turn around and start heading back to Austin, cut my trip short. And after riding several hours in the desert, making my way back, I progressively got worse and worse and worse. I made it to Alpine, Texas. My heart rate was like 138, 139, just felt like it was beating out of my chest. I actually thought I was gonna have a heart attack. I really didn't know what was happening at that point, but it was pretty sketchy from my perspective. There was no doctor really around there, and so Fort Stockton was the next place before there really was one. So I drove another, I don't know, maybe another hour and a half to there. Saw a doctor. They were thinking it was heat exhaustion, dehydration. So he gave me an IV right in the room, which really made me feel better pretty quick. But still, I was spent. I didn't want to stay there. I wanted to get as far as I could back to Austin so I could change a flight and get back home. And the doctor said to get some Pedialyte, try to drink 3 liters. So I got some Pedialyte. I emptied my hydration bladder that had water in it, filled it up with Pedialyte, immediately started drinking that. You know what? It's just a side note, but I thought they made stuff for kids to taste good. Whatever. So I drank a whole one of those, stopped, had to get more gas, filled my hydration bladder up with another one, a whole Pedialyte, and ended up drinking the 3rd one before the night was up, but didn't go to the restroom until I made it all the way to Fredericksburg, which was, I don't know, 275 miles away from there. So I was super dehydrated. The next morning I had about an hour and a half ride to drop off the bike and get to the airport, and pretty much spent the whole day just sitting in the airport. And I'm back home now, safe and sound. I've got to call the doctor's office in the morning to have a follow-up with my personal doctor. Super exhausted. Heart rate's leveling off and getting back to normal, but yeah, that was no joke. So I had to cut the trip short. Unfortunately, that's how it goes sometimes. I think, you know, you got to know when you need to turn around, when you need to quit. And after praying about that, that's the decision I made. I think it was the right decision. Hopefully I'll get to New Mexico some other time. But the footage that I do have, I wanted to share with everyone and kind of tell the story, because it was going to just be a little bit different. I didn't talk a lot as I normally do. It just didn't feel like it. I mean, even from the beginning, I mean, like I said, day 1, I didn't have any footage, but starting at day 2, I was starting to feel bad at that point. So, I don't know, perfect storm between potentially strep throat, pretty sure I had that, heat exhaustion, dehydration. It just all caught up with me. And I guess it's part of journeying, and it's caused me to think about some things on solo trips. I don't know that I'll not do any more solo trips, but that far away, and especially in extreme conditions, I'll be more prepared for sure. But being that far away from home and being out in the middle of nowhere, and the only thing you have on your phone is SOS, no signal. I have a Garmin InReach Mini, so I could have pushed that button, but it was still a great trip even though all that happened, and it's good to be able to put something on here for everybody to see. And like I said, I just wanted to share what I did have, but because it was different, I felt like maybe a little bit of commentary would help. So appreciate you watching, hope you enjoy the video, and hopefully soon I'll be able to go on another adventure and share that with you as well. God bless you guys.